evolution of Grouper. So Grouper started as just a lottery token, and it was a really good idea, and it worked great, and we had a really loyal following. And we started thinking, what can we do to make this better? And that's where we kind of got G2 gaming from. It's the next evolution of Grouper. So what is G2 gaming? So it consists of multiple parts all in one token. So we're known for our lottery, our crypto lottery. So we still have 50 weekly drawings, completely contract based. So we don't do anything manual. It's 100% contract based. You can read the code yourself. It works really good. And then we wanted to add in some other aspects to it as well. So we have a staking pool that's managed by the contract that generates revenue that can then be pumped back into the lottery. So one of the big detriments to blockchain lotteries is they get this big pump at the beginning, their volume fizzles out, they are not able to pay lotteries, and then the coin dies. This has been happening since crypto. No one has been able to successfully run a lottery token. So we were able to kind of change that. By having that staking pool, it provides income for the lotteries. And then we also said, what else can we do to help support the token? So we came up with this arcade idea where we have Telegram-based games where people are able to go in and actually play with their tokens and win prizes and multiply their earnings. And so that was fun too. And then we were thinking and we're going, how do we make this go mainstream? How do we make this go viral? And one of our, I think it was one of our strategic advisors, he said, what if we license this tech out to other tokens? And so we started looking at it and we came up with this idea that we can create this central gaming bot and license it out to other tokens, and so that their users can play games and all this other stuff. And then all we do is we profit share with them. So it supports the G2 ecosystem, and it's also supporting these individual token economies. This is a very high level overview of the token. If you like what you're hearing, I highly recommend you read our white paper on the website. There's a lot of details in there. It would just take me too long to go through everything, on something like this.
Yeah, that's fine, Alex. Thanks very much for that. It's really interesting. So I, as I was saying earlier, I have about 4 questions that I'm going to ask you, and then, as I said, I'll ask you to have a look on our Twitter to the tweet that we had to advertise the AMA. There's a few questions on there, I know, at the minute, so you could have a little look on there and see if there's one that catches your eye, and then later on we'll ask people to put a couple of questions into the Telegram as well, and you can pick some then. But my first question for you is, it seems that you've combined what seems like multiple projects into a single token. What was the thinking behind that?
So the thinking behind that is each one supports the other. So if I take the staking pool, for example, well, anyone can go out and stake tokens, but combining the staking pool with the lottery function with the arcade that helps grow the staking pool, well, now we're providing value to the customer. We're providing value to the token holder. So it's all about multiplying value for the token holders and the ecosystem.
Great, thanks very much. And my next question then is, what do you see as the unique selling points of G2?
The unique selling points, touching on the lottery aspect a little bit, it's really easy for people to say they're diamond hands or they're going to hold a token forever. With our lottery, it's a buy once, play for life. So you can buy and sell and trade your G2 tokens at will. There's no restrictions on that. But if you purchase what we call the Diamond Hold lottery ticket, that ticket is for life. And I think that's probably one of our most unique selling points is the lottery backed up by the staking pool. And then we also have the use case of the Telegram games feeding income into that ecosystem. It's kind of like a perfect storm for a great token.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I mean, we all know gaming is one aspect of DeFi, I suppose, that is expanding rapidly, and there's a lot of interest in it. So it's great to hear your take on that and what you guys are doing. I mean, have you considered expansion onto other blockchains?
Yes, we've considered it. BSC is definitely where we feel comfortable right now, but as the ecosystem grows, the G2 ecosystem, we're able to integrate other chains into it very easily. And it doesn't have to just be Telegram-based games. So, you know, if there's people that are requesting, let's say they want our game through Discord, we can port that over very easily. And one thing I wanted to touch on is we are launching day one with our product working. This is not something that, you know, people are investing in and we're going to have something out 6 months down the road. No, day one, we are launching with a working product. We have 30 plus people that have actively participated in our pre-testing channel. We have other tokens lined up as partners. The tech has been developed and it's already being implemented, and it's a great product.
I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, I think anybody who has been investing in DeFi and looking at the numerous projects that are out there, it is very unusual for a project to start with a working, you know, a working app or a working piece of software. We did exactly the same thing actually with Peachfolio. We launched our beta of our app before we actually launched the token. So, and we were very unusual in that regard. So yeah, I mean, we totally agree that that's a good way to do it. You know, you build a lot of confidence from the community by obviously having your product right there from day one, and that sort of sets you aside from some of the other projects that are out there that are maybe promising different things, but have yet to actually deliver it. So that's really interesting. My final question for you before we move on to the community questions, it's about, I suppose, how can I multiply my money with G2?
That's a great question. So the beautiful thing about G2 is because of that ecosystem approach, there's multiple ways to multiply your money. So we have the hodlers, so the people that are going to buy the token and they're just going to hold the token forever. You're going to get reflections. So by just holding the token, you're going to be getting the reflections back. Second, if you participate in the pre-sale, you automatically get a diamond hold lottery ticket. You can purchase additional tickets as well. So that's the second way. And then third, you can also play, well, actually there's four. Third, you can play in the arcade game. So you can actually deposit your tokens through Telegram, play the games, potentially 50x on some of the jackpots. They're a lot of fun. They're very fast paced. Fourth, the staking pool. If our lottery wallet is full, the staking pool will actually buy back and reflect G2 tokens. So there's about 4 different ways that you're able to increase your holdings and your winnings through the G2 ecosystem. And it's really fun in our chat. People have actually been kind of talking about their strategies. So I'll just share my strategy. You know, I plan on buying some tokens, and I'm going to get a little bit of tokens for development. And my plan is to hold my base tokens and then take my reflections and play games, buy the diamond hold lottery tickets with them. You know, if I ever wanted to sell a little bit, I could do that. So it's a really cool idea where you can buy a base amount and then just play with your reflections, and you're basically playing for free at that point. So it's definitely a unique concept. I have not seen another token with gaming like that, that also integrates, the lottery aspect as well.
That's a great answer. Thanks very much, Alex. What I will ask you to do now, I'm going to put the link into Telegram just in case you don't have it, but this is the tweet that we had put out a couple of days ago, advertising the AMA. And if you click on the link, you'll see there's several questions that have been asked by people in the community. And I'll ask you, Alex, if you want to maybe select one of those and answer it for us. And then people who are listening in and also sitting in our Telegram channel at the minute, feel free to think of a question and write it in now into our Telegram. And I'll ask Alex to have a look at those questions and maybe pick two of them as well, if that's all right. Now, there's no rush on this, Alex, and I know I'm sort of putting you on the spot a little bit. So just take your time. And I would ask you, I suppose, first of all, have a look at the Twitter feed. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 questions there you could possibly select from there. Certainly 2 or 3 anyway, if you want to have a look at that first of all.
Sure. So looking through the Twitter, would it be helpful if I give you their Twitter ID, or just if I say the question, you'll be able to find it?
If you say the question.
Okay. So this is a really good question. We kind of touched on this at the beginning. G2 is a follow-up to the Grouper Lottery. Why did you need to relaunch and rebrand? So the rebranding question, the original Grouper Lottery, so it was 3 lotteries grouped into one, an hourly, a daily, and a weekly. And so a grouper is a type of fish in America. And so it was kind of a play on words, and not a lot of people understood what a grouper fish was. And so we decided to rebrand it to make it more international friendly. So that was the rebranding aspect. And then the token aspect, the original contract was not able to be upgraded. So we were forced to if we wanted to make some of these changes, we were forced to upgrade the contract. And so we actually put out in our chat, and we gave every grouper holder the option, if you'd like to convert over to G2, you can burn your tokens, you burn them yourself. And if not, you're welcome to sell and just walk away. And it was amazing. 98% of people burned their own tokens, so that way they're able, to get airdropped into G2. So it was a really defining moment for me to see the community step up and really support us and believe in the product and want to take that journey with us into a version 2 of the project. So that was hugely appreciated. I cannot understate that enough.
That's great. That's a great answer. Thank you. I'm going to give it another minute. Just as I said, if people want to ask a question to Alex, feel free to write one into the Telegram right now. I can see there's a few questions already have been written in. And a few people are asking if they are able to do that. And yes, you can. Please write it in right now. I think, Mike, you were saying you had a question to ask and you wanted to know whether you needed to post it on Twitter. No, you don't need to do that. You can literally just write it into our Telegram. But Alex, if you want to have a quick look there, there's a few questions in there. And as I said, you can win some Peach tokens if you put in a question, guys. So feel free to put more questions in. And I'll leave it up to Alex. He can select one or two.
Sure. I'm just reading through some of these.
That's fine. Take your time.
Blue, I kind of like your question. So where do you and the G2 team see the world of blockchain being in the years to come, and how will G2 change the landscape of the cryptocurrency space in years to come? So I think it's important. G2 is not going to be its own chain. It's an ecosystem, but it's a pointed ecosystem that's focusing on that mobile gaming aspect and that lottery aspect. No other crypto lottery token has been successful long term, and we're really aiming to change that. And to piggyback off that, I saw a question saying, why are we doing the Telegram-based games? So the Telegram-based games, we have a simple motto: fair, fun, fast. So if I have to download a separate app, that takes time. That takes time away from the user. I don't know about you guys, but I'm extremely busy. If I have to keep downloading different things, if I'm not really familiar with the product, I'm not going to do it. So by integrating it through Telegram, it's one of the fastest growing messaging platforms worldwide. It's extremely secure and it's anonymous, which are some of the pillars that many crypto projects and crypto believers believe in, is that anonymous aspect. So that was a big draw for us, was being able to build this gaming platform on top of, an already extremely secure messaging platform. And we can also integrate it into communities. So our goal with our gaming bot is it will be as simple as adding Combot to your community. So if you're technical enough to add Combot to your community, you will have the technical skills to add our gaming bot to your community and to allow your community to engage with that. And it's free. We split the profits with you. So if there's at the end of the week, if there's any profits, it automatically splits it. So you're able to generate volume and community engagement on your token, and the cost is just a profit share with us. So it's really a unique concept. Reading through some of these questions. 2 games will be available after launch. Yes, we have a slot game base now. We have a couple more games coming up. We have Wheel of Joe, and then after that we have Plinko, and then internally we've got a roadmap for the game. So we're able to create the games every 2 to 4 weeks. We'll have a new game coming out. So our 2022 development calendar is actually really full. We have 13 people on the team. So, it's not like it's just me and one other person. We have 13 people that are actively working on the product. Let's see. Well, this sounds interesting. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate the shout out. I'm just scrolling through the questions real quick. Peach, if you find anything else that you find interesting, feel free to say it, and I can.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, if you want to pick one more question, if you see one, feel free, and we'll. I suppose we're giving out prizes for these as well, so if you have one there that you see that you like, feel free to answer it, or if you're happy with what you've said so far, we can leave it at that. It's up to yourself, Alex.
So my Telegram's actually having problems scrolling up. So how about this? How about I let you pick one last one, and then I'll just answer it, and we call it from there.
Oh, pressure's on. Right, okay. Let's have a quick look. Okay. There's a question here I don't fully understand, so I'd like to know the answer to it. Hopefully you'll have the answer, Alex. It's from Liam. It says, Liam has a question about how the speed break mechanism will work. I understand that it starts off 30% and decreases every day with 1% until it reaches 10%.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's basically like an anti-bot, anti-pre-sale dump mechanism. So day one, the sell tax will be 30%. And then over the first 20 days, it goes down by 1% each day, down to that 10%. Will the tax reset back to 30% if you sell? So originally we had a floating tax idea, and we talked to some people, and we put the idea past them, and it confused some people, and we didn't want to cause any confusion. So we just have the speed break will just be that anti-dump launch tax, which will be the 30%, and then it just goes down the 1% every day until it reaches that 10% at the very bottom. And then I saw another question. It asked, will there be a tax to move tokens in and out of the bot? As of right now, we have the tax. There's no deposit fee, and there's a 1 or 2% withdrawal fee. So you will not be taxed the full 10% on withdrawals from the bot.
That's great. Thank you very much. That's really interesting, the way you guys are approaching the taxing. I'll have to I'll have to look at that and see how it works for you. That's very good. So I suppose that's the end of the questions. One thing I wanted to ask is, do you have a date yet for the full launch?
Do we have a what? I'm sorry.
A date yet for the full launch of the?
Oh, yes. So we're actually launching in over 30 days. So it's November 2nd. So we originally planned to be early October, but going back to our first discussion, we really wanted to polish the product and try to get out a couple more games beforehand, before, we actually go live. So we pushed it back, and that's going to allow our community to grow a little bit bigger, spread the word a little bit more, get a couple more token partners lined up for that launch. So as of right now, it is November 2nd, and we do not plan on changing it.
That's great. That's not too long to wait then for everyone to try it out. That's great. We'll be doing a bit of in-app promotion for G2 around that time as well, probably. So I suppose all our users, we obviously have over 50,000 users of our app at the minute. So hopefully that'll give you guys a good bit of exposure as well to help you on the way. So thank you so much, Alex, for spending the time with us this evening and giving us such detailed answers. That was very, very, very good. I'd like to also thank people for being here, and particularly people from the G2 community that have come over to join us here at Peachfolio. It's greatly appreciated.
And thank you for having us. We really appreciate this. And this was actually our first AMA. So looking to kick off a good round of AMAs, and definitely started with the best. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. I wish you all the best in the future. We know from working on this project just how much work goes into starting a new project. So yeah, best of luck. And I hope it really works out for you guys. Okay, we'll be keeping a close eye on the project in the future.
Sounds good. There's a couple more questions I may respond to through text in the channel. Is that all right?
Yeah, that is absolutely fine. No problem at all. So if people want to keep asking questions about G2, as Alex says, he'll be sticking around for a little while. So feel free to have a chat. So look, I'll leave it at that for now. I'll just close off the voice chat, and then as I say, you can continue the conversation in Telegram if you wish. So thank you very much, everyone. All the best. Goodbye.